All right, welcome back everybody, and welcome to our final presentation today at UX Poland. Everyone having a good time today? All right, excellent. All right, nice. All right, after party tonight. Again, I'd like to just have another big round of applause for our volunteers today who've made today such a great experience for everyone. So put your hands together once again for the volunteers. And our last presentation today is with Hubert Anyżewski. All right, that's one. And Wisław Kotecki. All right, I'm developing a Polish accent. Not. All right. Okay, Hubert is a partner at the strategic decision company UseLab. He has led the UX and CX projects for the biggest Polish and international companies for over 10 years. He's currently the head of UX design postgraduate studies at the University of Social Sciences and Humanities and founder and member of the program committee at UX Poland Conference. Wisław is a partner at the strategic design, did I mess that up? Wisław? Wisław? Wisław is the partner of the strategic design company UseLab, where he advises key clients, I love you, brother, with CX UX strategies. Wisław is the UX strategist with 9 years of experience and has carried out projects in 11 markets across the world. He's a speaker, coach, mentor, and lecturer at the University of Social Psychology and Humanities, and is one of the originators of UX Poland, the largest UX conference in Central Europe. In a hat tip to Homer, Hubert and Wisław will share with us the UX Odyssey and what we as UX designers can learn from the Greek myths. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together.
Thank you, my friend.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you, Jeff, for this kind invitation. Okay,
you
guys.
Can call me W, Jeff. W, it's enough.
Okay, I think all of you know us. Here's Wisław and I'm Hubert. We would like to talk about UX Odyssey today. This is the last presentation, and we know that you are a bit tired and probably you want to go for an after party. So we would like to make it quick and in a good harmony. So what UX designer can learn from Greek myths? First of all, we would like to say that we are from UseLab. And we are working for your experience, for a customer's experience, also we work for our experience as employees, because we got also the experiences during the projects. So we are not only working on the projects to build the experiences and the influenced by the product, but also we would like to build our experiences during the projects.
Yeah, but as Jeff mentions, what we would like to do today, so we would like to share you a story with you. Whole day we're talking about technology, and in fact we are at the Human Experience Conference, yes? And there is nothing more human than art, Greece, and history. So today we want to take you into a journey to Greece. We want to share a story about love, fight, temptation, wars, and Greek heroes. It would be UX Odyssey, and it's inspired by Greece, but it's based on our experience as a company.
What do we mean by telling complex systems? It's not about working for enterprise clients. It's not about working for a large budget. It's about working with many people, with many perspectives, with many solutions, with many ideas on the projects. Those complex of the systems we understand as many different point of views and many different stakeholders and many different paths which we can go. And sometimes we feel like we will be in a labyrinth. I think maybe some of you also feel the same in your projects. And the Augean Stables. Do you remember this myth? Do you remember what's going on inside? I mean, do you remember Hercules and his work when he needs to clean the stables and it looks like it's an impossible work to do?
Yeah, and of course, no clients would like to be called the Augias Stables. And that's not true that these clients had this situation, but in fact, Multimed is the Warsaw chain of clinical in medical clinics in Warsaw. There are 10 of them They hired 1,000 people, and they have high-end medical staff, like the best quality in Poland. And we, as a use lab, with Michael Lewandowski, he's here in the room, we're asked, okay, guys, we are a good business, we make a lot of money, but what we would like to do, we would like to change our online communication. We would like a new website. Easy, isn't it? And we started to make a research, and this is one of those clinics. As you can see in one place 3 logotypes, one from 80s, one from 90s. Those of you who can read Polish, you can see different branding, and we try to figure out what's wrong with that communication, and we decided everything. So everything, and we were asked to make a new website, and we tell the client, website, it's not enough. We have to communicate, we have to discuss about your holistic strategy, about your target group, because now we are communicating rather to old people. And in fact, you have to communicate to younger people which are not curing themselves, but protecting of being ill. And this was just the beginning of the designing stuff for Multimed. We designed a whole new value proposition of the company, and branding is one of part of that. We designed with Michael the new claim, the new value proposition, and that was the beginning of designing every channel, starting from website, and that's what client expect us to do. We redesign clinics like that, with the new logo, with the new communication, then of course the website, the mobile, but other channels of communication. Actually, what we did, we redesigned the customer experience with the clinics, with the website, but also with the paper communication, with clothes, and with whole processes. So if you are beginning the project and you feel that it's like the Augias Stables, and if you focus just on that problem, sometimes you can miss something really, really much more important, the broader vision. So what we can learn from that myth, it's not only about cleaning the Augean Stables. Think broad, focus on the holistic experience across all channels of contact. Can we turn the music on, please? And another part of the story is temptation. It's Odyssey was tempted by Sirens. And you remember the situation. They were sailing across the sea, and they met Sirens. And if they wouldn't close their ears, they would just jump into the water and died. So maybe you can remember those situations with your projects when you have a lot of requirements and those sirens, just like in the beautiful way, we're asking you to jump to our water, jump to our water, jump to our water. And Hubert will share you a story about one of our cases.
The sirens could be the metaphor of the managers, of the directors. We saw this metaphor where we are worked, and also we are still working for a Polish media platform with over 2 million customers. The challenge was to define one vision of the service, one vision of the content, and present it in a digital channels on different touch points in cooperation with many departments. The problem was that there were a lot of sirens. There was a lot of departments, and they are singing in a different way, and they are trying to attempt us to do their vision of the project and their vision of the segmentation, communication, and the services. So what we done with it? We tried to make a participatory design, creating common vision. We try to put those people in the one room, stakeholders, directors, managers, all the important persons in a company. We make it in a quite nice space, and we built one vision. What kind of techniques we used? These are only the few of them. We designed the future, we made the value proposition, we built the mental models and personas, build on them. We designed the box also as a technique to share the same vision and to build the same vision and to choose the one of the sirens to sing for us. So what's the lesson from this myth and what's the lesson from the project to us? It's keep your focus on the right path, the user's path, the path that we choose. Sometimes it's not the right one, but we need to have the one vision and the one path which we are going to go forward. Don't be scared about the sirens, Try to learn them, try to love them, and try to involve them into the process. Try to work with them and try to sync with them. Another illustration which could be, which we could find in our projects between Monday to Friday, it's a Pandora's box. Do you remember this myth? Do you open the Pandora's box? Do you try to open it by yourself? Maybe it's not a good way to do it by your own. Maybe the better way is to open with somebody else.
Yeah. And this is a story about one of most fascinating company I've ever met. And I know there are the guys from the company at this room. And actually, this is the company which is 100 Polish, and it's founded by the Polish guy, and it's one of the top distributors of automotive spare parts in the world, the Polish company. And they made $1 billion income last year. So enormous company. And we were asked for a very little project, like, would you make an audit of one of our e-commerce sites? Easy job, isn't it? So we made an audit, some kind of usability testing, and the story begins. Because such a big company has a lot of online exposure. And here's the picture of the golf course, because after a couple of weeks after that audit, we started to work with the client just to make audit of all online presence. And they asked us, okay, can you just look at about 10, 15 websites? And it appears at that workshops that is more than 100, a lot. Just like you can never imagine how many is that. So what we did, and that was some kind of Pandora's box, not with such bad news as in Pandora, but every time we try to talk with somebody from that company, it appears there's another stuff to do, another stuff to do, another stuff to do. So a lot of new things for us, some kind of dangerous situation for UX designer, isn't it? When you actually don't know what the scope is, and you are alone in that communication. So knowing that, both we and the client decide, all right, so make it clear what's happening in the company, and we started the process of making strategic workshops with all the most important people in the company. And our challenge, both for us and the client, was to analyze and build UX. At that moment, we didn't call it UX experience strategy, but online strategy for such large multi-channel organization. And we did a lot of stuff during those processes, involving usability testing, diary studies, participatory design, but 10 days of workshops. And every workshop at that golf course, we had about 30 top managers from that company. And what was the reason? The reason was that we don't want to open those Pandora box alone. We want to make it with the client, because as Hubert mentioned with the media case study, if you do it together with the client, it's the problem of both sides, and the situation you are dealing not only as UX designers. It's no matter if you are external UX agency or internal UX in the company. You don't want to be alone with that project. So we defined a UX strategy and became part of global company change. From that moment, when after all of those studies, workshops, we prepared a big document, which is the basis of the whole company change. I mean, on the online change. Yeah, but the lesson is, don't ask about the requirements. Define it together and make it real. Don't open Pandora's box alone. So that was our lesson. Thank you. And probably remember the story about Alexander cutting the Gordian knot, and the knot which was so tight that nobody could resolve it. And this was the situation where Alexander had to be such brave not to resolving it, but to cut it with the knife. And this is what's all about with that situation.
This is an illustration to group of projects that we can illustrate on a BPSC project. This is the Enterprise Resource Planning System, ERP. This kind of projects, for this example, this is one of the 5 main vendors on Polish EIS market, one of the 50 fastest growing CEA technology companies in technologies. And we need to work with software standalone in this class of the software. They are so large, they've got so many processes, and it's all about working with designing for an IT-oriented company, defining users. There are such many roles and such many actors in those kinds of projects. And all in all, it's about mapping and redesigning the processes. And of course, there is a lot of analysis, a lot of mapping, a lot of processes, a lot of data mining, because there are a lot of data inside the organization, but it's really hard to take them out and to understand for this organization why we need those data. Processing, modeling, and of course, at the end, this is just the end, the interface design. For those kinds of projects, the lesson is to use proper tools, to be analytical, and to have courage to cut the Gordian knot if needed. In many cases, the software is so much complicated, the processes are so much complicated that it's better to leave it alone and build it from the sketches and build it from the zero stable. So be brave, to be Alexander, and to cut the Gordian knot.
If needed.
If needed. Athena. Do you remember Athena? Do you remember the wisdom of Athena? Do you remember how she was dealing with life, with problems?
Yeah, and as you probably know, most of you would describe Athena as the goddess of war. But she was also a goddess of wisdom, as Hubert said. And we as designers, we talk a lot about usability testing. How many of you made usability testing class like in last 3 months? A lot, yes. 6 months? Ever? Probably all of you. But the thing is that when you look into complex system, I mean like the transactional system, ERPs, business system, they are such complicated and with such expensive technology, I mean IT technology, sometimes they're even not online system, that everybody say, I mean the stakeholders, all right, we cannot test because it's so expensive, so we have to ask IT, etc., etc. And when you think about how many times, for example, when you were designing or being the part of the design process of transactional system in banking, you were able to test your ideas like in design process, it's not so frequent. And we had this pleasure that Getin Bank, which is one of the most innovative and fast-growing banks in Poland, asked us, all right, UseLab, can you just help us in designing, because we are designing the new transactional system for our bank. It's not the mobile system like this image, because it's still in the process. We couldn't show you the picture. But they asked us, can you just help us to validate our ideas? It is internal UX team from the Getin Bank and us as usability testing company in that case. So our challenge was, if we are able to test very fast and iterative the prototype of transactional banking system, but the challenge was time, of course, because Getin Bank is those type of bank which acts very quickly, very, very quickly. So we're just thinking with the client what we can do. And there is this research method called RITE. It's Rapid Iterative Testing Evaluation. Have you heard about that? How many people used RITE ever? Cool. And I know Marta and Piotr are here from Getin Bank at the room, so listen to that process and ask yourself if you can, what's stopping you from using it just from tomorrow. Right process is based on two things. That is iterative and it's rapid. Rapid means that during 7 days, I mean from Monday till next Tuesday, 7 days, we checked 6 business processes of the system 2 times. So first day, preparation, second day, testing 5 person with the client in our laboratory. So we're just half of a day testing and another half of day just discussing, possible solutions. Next day, the team from Getting Bank were making tweaks of the system. Next day, tweaks and recruitment. Next day, another testing and report. So 7 days, 2 sessions of testing, 10 participants, 4 flip charts full of post-its, and in 7 days you can validate twice. And can you imagine what is the effect of the quality of the project? It's unbelievable, really. In 7 days, 2 sessions, but of course it needs one thing. It needs your passion to spend 10, 12 hours in lab, then whole day of redesigning, another 12 hours of testing, another redesigning. So it needs a lot of effort, but it's really worth it. So even if you are part of complex system designing processes, don't act like Athena. Don't only base in your designs on your wisdom like Athena. Always validate your ideas and design with users, even in complex system. Keep it an ongoing process because it wasn't one session. For now, we made it twice, and I hope we are planning another sessions. So it's ongoing system. So, summing up, what UX designer can learn from Greek myths? And what can, as you can see on this classical Bruegel picture, what can avoid us and protect us of being like Icarus, just in the corner. An Icarus who is abandoned by everybody. He falls down from the sky to the water, and nobody care about that. Nobody realized that he's in the water. And me and Hubert in this presentation is about not being like Icarus, and so you cannot fly too high, but you cannot be alone in the process. So as you can see, in all of those cases, we were talking about communication. We're talking about humans, you as a designers, and clients, about process when you are together with the client and with other parts of the teams. And we believe that it could help you to being like that poor guy called Icarus. So, summing up.
Yeah. These are just 5 rules that probably they can help you with feel better and have better experiences during the project, especially where there are a lot of actors and a lot of stakeholders and perspectives. The first one, it's not only about cleaning Augias Stables.
Don't be scared of Sirens. Try to love them and involve them into process management.
Don't open Pandora's box alone.
Have a courage to cut the Gordian Knot if needed.
Don't act like Athena.
Yes. So that's our 5 principles.
Yes, and all in all, we believe that the work is to make it with passion, because if not, just don't do that.
Yeah, but in case of failure, remember.
There are a lot of us.
Yes.
And you can count on us too.
Thank you very much.